I have been getting increasing messages about AI from students inside of our Freedom Founders Society, the Free Mama Movement. I'm getting DMs here on Facebook and YouTube and Instagram constantly about how AI is impacting the future of freelancing, how it is going to take over certain niches, how you can see in the media, you can go look up news articles about how it's taking jobs. I think there was a big post recently about a bunch of layoffs in HR at a large company because AI is now doing the role of, hundreds of people or whatever the story was. And it's an important conversation. So I want to talk to you about it today because whether you are already freelancing or you are considering getting started with freelancing, AI is everywhere now. I think I'm getting invited to multiple groups a week on Facebook that are dedicated to AI and writing prompts for AI. New platforms are going to be popping up constantly. Platforms that you use and love probably are now being more AI centric. So whether you use Canva, there is now intuitive AI. Even if you were to go to Google right now and type in top AI platforms or most popular AI software, Google's AI assistant is going to generate some results that come up on top of the search results. So it's literally everywhere, and it's not going to go anywhere anytime soon. So I want to talk about how AI is changing the landscape for freelancers because it is going to be different. And if you would like job security as a freelancer, it's really important that we not only embrace this new technology and start playing with it and not being afraid of it, but in certain situations, you're going to need to learn to master it. And more importantly, you're going to need to learn where your value proposition comes in. If the tasks that you used to do as a freelancer, especially my virtual assistants, potentially some of my bookkeepers, my copywriters, my website designers, AI can now complete most of the tasks that you were doing. So, what are we supposed to do? All right. So, I broke this down into three different things that I want you to know. The first is that entry level work. So, again, especially looking at my virtual assistants, but anybody completing regular tasks, it is going to be increasingly automated. Okay. It's coming. It's coming. So get ready for it. So that means people who are doing potential data entry, data research. That is something that just as recently as I think a week or two ago, I actually congregated, I exported a bunch of surveys that we've done in the Free Mama over the last 6, 7, 8 years. And normally something that I would ask my assistant to go look through and find something. And I didn't. I didn't even ping her about this. I exported all of the data. Now, I could have had her do this, so keep your ears open. But I exported all of the data. I imported it all into ChatGPT. I asked ChatGPT to look through all of the data and pull me out the specific things that I needed. In this entire project that would have taken a human hours, if not days, to find what I was looking for, took about 5 to 10 minutes total. And the majority of that time was me exporting what I needed. So, again, entry level work is going to be increasingly automated. So, what won't work anymore? What won't work for freelancers is just being a taskmaster. If you are just being an implementer, just completing the task, like data entry or scheduling appointments or even managing emails, this is going to be increasingly automated by AI because it is faster. And I wouldn't say it's better because that's very subjective, and we'll talk about that here in a minute, but it is faster and it's going to be more cost efficient for business owners. So it's something we have to be aware of. So it's not going to work anymore for you to be a taskmaster. So what can you do? This is really important. You can learn to leverage AI. So if you feel like job security is a thing for you as a freelancer because of AI, you need to learn to leverage it because here's the thing about AI. There are managers of tech. We need to know how to write really good prompts. We need to understand how to go in and set certain things up because these automations aren't building themselves. The output is not automatically generated until a human goes in and sets it up or initiates that prompt. So learning how to write better prompts, understanding what gets a good output from AI versus like a really bland or mediocre or even super inaccurate output, is really, really important. Understanding how to manage the AI that you're using and then understanding how to track the results across the board and like oversee it. So I want you to think of yourself more as a manager. And instead of you being the assistant or whatever role you have in your business, maybe it's even copywriting, you are now a manager who's going to initiate it and then make it better on the back end. Like you are now managing AI. Instead of you being the assistant, you are the manager of the AI assistant. And I think if you can use that mentality and start to sharpen that skill set, again, this is going to need really strong communication. It's going to need really, really clear understanding of what you're trying to create so that your input is really high quality and therefore the output is really good. So someone is still going to have to do this, and businesses and business owners are not going to be doing all of this themselves. So again, instead of you being the taskmaster, I want you to now think of the manager of tech. So if you have been avoiding it, it is time to pick a few platforms, roll up your sleeve and start playing with it. Start seeing what I mean about like a good prompt versus an unclear prompt. Okay. The second thing that you need to know is that there's going to be this big shift. It's already started to happen, but the human value is going to shift toward away from, again, these tasks to strategy and personal touch. So, what do I mean by strategy? By strategy, I mean you need an understanding of how business works, of how marketing works, of how operations work. Whatever leg of a business you're in, or if you're helping oversee everything, you need to understand the strategies and principles instead of just your individual role. And personal touch, of course, I mean the elements that AI can't grasp, the human components, whether that is face to face, a real face, by the way, not an AI generated face, a voice, something that is very personalized and customized. Just again, the emotional, intimate components that AI, at least as of now, has absolutely not caught up to is something that you bring value to that business owners will want and need so that it's not that robotic transactional relationship. Now, again, there's lots of benefits to AI and the speed and the automation and the cost, but there are human components that cannot be replaced. So, what won't work moving forward? Just being a cog in the machine. Okay, it's not enough just to be really good at the individual thing that you do that someone's hiring you for. You need to understand how that role, the service you provide, how does that work in the bigger picture of profitability, of sustainability, of cash flow, of retention for business owners? Like, what is the bigger picture that you provide? And do you understand that whole through line? When you can start to think like that, you think like a strategist and you are playing big picture instead of just that one cog that I think so many freelancers are hired for. And unfortunately, that's going to make you disposable when AI can generate the same result in less time. So don't be a cog. What can you do? I want you to start to think of yourself as a trusted partner. This is also, by the way, how you need to position yourself for your clients. You're a trusted partner. You need to be an innovative thinker. Yes, you can plug a really good prompt into ChatGPT and get some, it's going to spitball you ideas in like a moment. But innovation is still going to come from humans, I think, on a really grand scale. So you need to be an innovative thinker. If you are not naturally sort of that creative dreamer, there are things you can do to strengthen this tool in your tool belt. Most particularly for women, and something we talk a lot about with free mamas, is white space. you need to be still. You need to not be listening to everybody else. You need to get off social media. You need to turn off the podcasts and the audiobooks, and you just need to be out in the world. You need to play. You need to have fun. You need to be in nature, right? We need some of these things so that we can download some of those um, innovative ideas that we are all capable of having. It's just there's so much noise around us all of the time. But it's these innovative ideas that are going to make you continue to be invaluable to your clients and future clients. We talked about understanding the principles and strategies of business, that through line for whatever, if you're in marketing, if you're in operations, whatever side you're in, you need to understand the bigger picture and priorities of the business and your clients, because if you are contributing to the bottom line, you are valuable. And if you're not, then you are disposable to that client. So make sure that you're understanding that. And again, there's so many, whether it's inside of the Free Mama and our coaching calls that we have, or books that I can recommend to you. In fact, I think I still have my bookstore up. Somebody check out amazon.thefreemama.com. You'll have to type it into your browser, but that should reroute you to my Amazon bookstore. These are all of the books that I've read that I recommend. And so there's a lot you can do in terms of, again, sharpening that tool of becoming a more strategic thinker that will make you really valuable. And if you like this kind of stuff, if you're competitive, if you like getting your clients results, it's not that you have to know a lot about business. I didn't go to school for business, but if you like getting your clients results, if you enjoy the impact that they're making on the world, and you enjoy what you're doing, then you should be fueled, not intimidated, to go want to learn more about ways that you can help them. And then the last thing on this is be a community driver. It was so funny. When I first started the Free Mama, my really good friend, Catherine Jones, I think when she came maybe to our first Free Mama event, she told me, she's like, you're just like a lady of the people, because I'm not someone who shows up and is just on stage and speaking or speaking at people. Like, I want to speak with you. I want to know you. I hugged every single person when they came in the door to my event. I think I did that at every event I ever had. Like, I want to know you. I want to hear from you. This isn't a one-way conversation at all. It's why I tell you, like, talk to me in the chat. Comment on this video. I will come back. I will engage with you. And so I want you to take that same principle. I want you to be a lady of the people. I want you to be a community driver, because when you are someone who is a connector, when you're someone who reaches out and lifts people up, that is something that robots haven't figured out. ChatGPT cannot penetrate that emotional connection that we have as people yet. So who knows, maybe it will. I know I'm starting to see stuff on the news about people having like AI boyfriends, and I find that to be a mental health concern. I don't think that that is real intimacy, but you and I can have that. And so go do that for your clients. How can you show up for their customers in a really, really personal way? A business that does this really great that comes to mind is Frownies. If you're not familiar with Frownies, I love Frownies. It's kind of the anti-Botox option for women who want to delay the expression lines and wrinkles on their foreheads. And they have a Facebook group for their customers and fans, and even on across other social media platforms. Their client personal touch is insane. They respond to like every comment they ever get, whether it's positive or negative. They never shoot people down. They are always uplifting. They are always very genuine. And these are not automated. These are happening from real humans who are taking the time to interact with their audience, and it shows that that's what they're doing. And so it's strengthening the community. It's making more loyal buyers who are going to consistently buy product from this company because how the company makes them feel. So be a community driver, and AI cannot touch what you're doing. The last point is that I think the biggest thing that AI is doing to all of us, not just our clients, but any of us who are using it, is that it is mismanaging our expectations for a faster turnaround and because it's just so fast. I mean, it's almost instantaneous. You can create an 8-second video in Gemini in like, less than 30 seconds with a prompt, an entire video. So it's really crazy. So what won't work anymore is doing everything manually. If you are doing every invoice manually, every proposal manually, you are writing everything for your clients completely manually, like, these things are, I think, really going to start becoming obsolete because nobody has time for that. Production is just absolutely increasing, sort of for better or for worse. I am absolutely still a fan of quality over quantity, but we are going to continue to see, we've already seen it, but we're going to continue to see a huge disruption in the online space of just so much stuff to filter through. Now, again, this comes with opportunity because I do think that the more intimate, personalized quality is going to rise to the top, especially as we have so much AI generated content coming out. But it has created this expectation of speed and quantity. So, what can we do? Well, we have to leverage technology and AI in some way. And I think something that we can do that's really, really valuable to your clients is providing proactive insights. So that means using AI to get data, to make data driven decisions, and then letting AI carry the bulk of the work, but not all of the work. So, how can we continue to use AI for speed when it doesn't matter, meaning when it's not the final output, but infuse our human component, our innovative ideas, our unique voice and tone, the things that we stand for and stand by, our own likeness and image for that matter. How can we continue to do those things to make sure that we stand up above the noise? So that's kind of what I've got for you. Again, I think entry level work is going to be increasingly automated. I think that the expectation of speed and quantity has already gone up and is going to continue to go up. And I think that the thing that we can do as freelancers is to understand how to very accurately and effectively and efficiently use AI in our favor to work for us without removing the human component that is going to make you unique as a freelancer, but also your clients' brands unique in the marketplace, based on that intimate connection that AI just cannot break through yet. So I'd love to know your thoughts. I would love to know if AI is something you are worried about, if it's something you're thinking about, if it's something you're playing with. I know that I am certainly playing with certain things that are moving me closer towards solving a problem. But I saw actually from a free mama recently that she said that she thought AI was the new doom scrolling and that people are using it sort of to scratch that dopamine hit itch, rather than actually driving the needle forward. So I'm really curious your thoughts on AI, and talk to me down in the chat in the comments, and I will love to continue this conversation with you. Until next time.